The theory that Jesus did not actually die on the cross, but rather survived and lived on, is known as the Swoon Theory. This theory has been thoroughly discredited by scholars and historians, both Christian and non-Christian. First and foremost, the severity of the crucifixion was well documented by Roman historians. Roman crucifixion was a brutal form of execution designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering before death. The Gospels describe in detail the physical abuse that Jesus suffered, including the beating he received before being put on the cross, which would have left him in a weakened state. He was then nailed to the cross, a process that would have caused immense pain and further weakening him. The Romans were experienced executioners and would have ensured the death was swift and certain. Additionally, the accounts of Jesus' death and resurrection in the Gospels, as well as in the writings of early Christian leaders, support the idea that Jesus actually died on the cross. The accounts describe the soldiers who crucified Jesus checking that he was dead and then placing him in a tomb. 3 days later, he was resurrected and appeared to his disciples, which they reported to others. These accounts are also supported by non-Christian sources, such as the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus, who wrote of Jesus' crucifixion. Furthermore, if Jesus had merely swooned on the cross and then revived in the tomb, he would not have been able to convince his disciples and followers that he had risen from the dead. The disciples, who had initially been disheartened and afraid after Jesus' death, were transformed into bold proclaimers of the resurrection. They willingly suffered and died for their belief that Jesus had risen from the dead, a transformation that can only be explained by their actual encounter with the resurrected Jesus. In conclusion, the evidence overwhelmingly supports the fact that Jesus actually died on the cross. The theory that he merely swooned and survived is not supported by any credible evidence and has been discredited by historians and scholars. I'm Rowan Locke for Thinking Matters, and this has been your Thought for the Week. For more resources like this, go to www.thinkingmatters.org.nz.